Hey everybody, it's Jasmine and today I have a highly requested video. I honestly didn't think I would bring back this series on my channel, but it seems like I will now. So this is my makeup collection series where I show you guys all of the things in my collection through a specific category. So in the past I've done like foundation concealers, I think I've done like powders, things of that nature. And so I wanted to dive into my highlights because you guys actually requested it. And so here are everything, my singles, my palettes, expensive ones, cheap ones. So I hope you guys all really enjoy. Now I'm gonna start off with my palettes because these are a lot. So here they all are in the palette form. I'm going to start off with the thing that is right on top. So this is my BH Cosmetics Black Light Highlight Palette. Now if you guys remember, I did a review on this about 2 years ago. Oh my god, almost 2 years, it was probably like a year and a half ago. And this was one of the palettes that I won in a giveaway from BH Cosmetics. This was before it was even launched, and I did a whole entire review where I tested out every single shade. So when you open this up, it looks like this, really, really dirty. You guys don't see me use this as much anymore just because I'm not really in the phase of colored highlights anymore. I was really in the phase of like the pink purple highlights down here. This one in particular, this shade called Illusion, it really is an illusion because it looks pink and when you turn your head it will look purple. I was really, really into this shade. It was like the best thing ever. But just generally speaking, I don't really go into this because it is colored. I have gone into specific shades when I needed to do some Halloween looks, things like that. This is a great look for that. It is also a very affordable palette if you're looking to dupe out like the Aurora palette from ABH or the Moonlight. Is that what it is? The Moonlight palette? One of those two. So if you're really interested in this, and I would highly recommend it. It is pretty buttery, so go in with a very light hand. The next one that I have is the Bretman Rock and Morphe Babe in Paradise palette. I got this pretty recently for my birthday and it looks like this. It looks still very pristine, very clean, doesn't even look like I even dived into it. The only shades that I will use are these two, Vacation and Baby Girl. Now I don't really use the other shades because they are way too dark for me. So if you are like a makeup artist, a freelance makeup artist, and you have this in your collection, I think that this is a great well-rounded palette to suit all of your clients. Now this one is a white, but it does have a pink reflect to it. I don't know, to me like that's just a little weird. I like this as an inner corner highlight, but as a face highlight, no. Again, the only shade that I use for my face is Vacation. Would I recommend you purchasing this like for everyday use? Yeah, if you like to multitask and use highlights as eyeshadows, then I think that this is great. If you like to support Bretman, then I think that this is great as well. But just personal use, I only really use one shade. The Sigma Chroma Glow Highlight Palette. Now when this launched, I was so skeptical. I do have a review on my channel about it. And I was a little skeptical because this is not the aesthetic of Sigma at all. When you think of Sigma Beauty, this is not what you think of. You think of something black, sleek, very universal, I guess. And when they launched this, I said, hold up. What is that? Like, Sigma? Like, really? So I used it. I thought it was good for like a hot minute. But as I started to really use it and really get into highlights, I realized that these are a little dry. These are just a little dry, and as you can probably notice just by me holding it up, it's very pink toned. Very, very pink toned. Now, that does not look good on my skin. If I put any type of pink highlight on my skin, it will look ashy, it will look dirty, and it won't look good because I am a yellow undertone. Now it will work if you are going for that colored highlight look, but there is a certain shade of pink, which is why I'm going to bring back up the Black Light Highlight Palette. There's a certain shade of pink that will look good, which is this shade, how it's like a hot pink, and it has there's a lot of dimension to this that makes it look a little bit more natural as opposed to this. It kind of looks a little one-dimensional on the face, so it just looks like you just slapped on color. There's not that much of like a glow. It's more of like, hey, here is like an eyeshadow that you can put on your face. Now these as eyeshadows, amazing. If you pair it on top of a really dark color, this is a winner if you're into that. But honestly, generally speaking, I think that this is one of the misses from Sigma's website. This to some people is a highlighting palette, so that's why I'm going to mention it. So this is the Makeup Revolution Golden Sugar 2 Rose Gold palette. This is the best. I met a subscriber in London, Sally. If you're watching, girl, thank you for this. She told me that she loves this shade in particular as a highlight, and ever since I got this, I've noticed more and more YouTubers talking about this. Thomas Hulbert talks especially about this highlight shade in the palette. So stunning, so beautiful. I use these 4 pink shades as a blush topper or as blushes in general. I will use this darker golden shade as a lid, this as my highlight, and these as contours. So beautiful, so pretty, and although it is not a highlighting palette, it definitely has an extreme glow to it. So out of everything that I'm going to mention, this is probably the most expensive item that I'm going to share with you guys. This is the original That Glow Anastasia Glow Kit. I don't know why. Let me set up real quick. I don't know why Miss Anastasia decides to discontinue everything that's good in her collection. She discontinued like the Shadow Couture palette. That was amazing. That was like the best. Everybody loved the Mario palette. I didn't get a chance to get that. Everybody loved her old palettes, her old pressed palettes. And then she launched these. She had this one and then that Gleam palette, I think that it was called. Those were so good. Like these palettes right here, they stay buttery. They stay looking so good. They stay feeling so fresh on the skin. Just so buttery. So buttery, so good. This is kind of the little sister to the Sun Dipped Glow Kit. So if you're thinking about something a little bit darker, but a little bit like, I don't know, I guess darker within these 2 shades, then I would probably recommend that palette, which is their staple in the line. Like it's not limited edition, it's like forever in the line. I would probably recommend that, but I really do prefer this over the Sun Dipped Glow Kit for sure. The Sun Dipped Glow Kit is actually in my client kit right now. That's what I use on my clients because it has an array of shades that works on everybody. This one to me has a special place in my heart and I will never let her go. ShopMissA has amazing highlights, and I know a lot of you guys on my ShopMissA Hits and Misses video asked me, what about their single highlights? I know I didn't mention that, but in general, any singles that they have that are in like the little pans like this, they are amazing. Just know that they're amazing and I highly recommend it. It's more so difficult finding your shade because online it looks lighter than it actually is when you get it in person. So I would just recommend like going really light for a highlight shade, and as well as like contour shade as well, blushes too. Like they all come out when you receive them darker than what it is online. So just keep that in mind. But these 3 shades right here, ooh, those are highlights, and they are in the shade Starlight, which is one of the first highlights that I got from their website. I also got the shade Treasure, which is a little bit darker, it's a little bit golden, and then this one down here, it's called Lunar, and that is the darkest one. I obviously don't use that as a highlight, I use it as an eyeshadow, and these are so similar to the formula of the ABH highlights. They are so buttery and so creamy, just like, oh, it looks so good on the skin. But like I said, you gotta find a shade that is lighter. This shade right here, it's a little too dark for my skin, so I do need to go ahead and buy another shade. So amazing, I highly recommend it. And yes, it is a little bit more expensive than the other things on their website, but honestly, you're getting a quality highlight. The Alexis Ren and ColourPop duo, the bronzer and highlight duo, the Topaz palette, the She's Here to Stay highlight that's in here, this one right here. Oh, she's so pretty as a blush or mixed in with the bronzer. She's everything, and I wish this was not discontinued. This, I know you guys see me use this a lot, and I wish it was not discontinued because it blends so beautifully on the skin. It looks so amazing, and I have so many tutorials using this, so if you ever need to see me use any of these highlights, actually, you could just go onto my channel, find that little search bar, and then type in whatever product that you need, any brand, and any videos that I have using it, it will pop up and it will show up for you guys. And oh my god, I wish I bought more than this, more than one. Fenty, my girl Rihanna. Oh, yes. So as most of you guys know, I talked about in the overhyped products video, I mentioned Trophy Wife. A lot of you guys in the comments were like, okay, but Trophy Wife works for me. Good for you. For me, it doesn't. It just works as a beautiful eyeshadow for me. Again, I don't like it on my skin. It just makes it look like I have like that weird shadow. And that's the thing with me. I like my highlights to look good at all angles. I don't like it when I look straight forward and then you see like the highlight here because it's the highest point of my face, and then towards the edge right here it looks a little bit murky, a little bit ashy. I don't like that, and I think that is what Trophy Wife gives me, which is why I say I don't really recommend it. But what I do recommend from her line is the Me Money and Hustla Baby highlight. This one is so pretty. It has like this really nice rose gold sheen, and I'm typically not the type of person to like rose gold, but this is so pretty. It's really reflective, especially the Hustla Baby side. The Mean Money is like a more matte highlight, and I know a lot of people don't use that, but I do. I love it for the inner corner of my nose when I want to look a little bit more natural, a little bit more subdued. On those days, it looks really, really pretty. Let's talk about the rest of the ShopMissA highlights that are actually $1. So this one is the Wonder Baked Highlight in the shade Cream Puff. This I think is like one of the lighter shades in the collection, and this is so blinding. It's so good. I love it so much because it just, when you rub your brush in it, it feels dry, but then when you translate it on the skin, woo! Have a good day. It's really good. And I wish that I discovered this sooner, but I don't know, there's something about baked products that I feel like is just a little cheap to me. I don't know, there's something about baked products that I'm not gravitated towards it for some weird reason. So, very surprising. And their baked stuff, whether it is their baked eyeshadows or this, you do need to go ahead and kind of remove the top layer for it to work. What I did was I just took my brush and I ran it through like 30 times, and that kind of popped the cherry, you know what I mean? ShopMissA was generous enough to send me all of their Halo highlights in a PR package. Thank you. If you want to shop anything on ShopMissA, shop my affiliate link. Oh my god, I know people hate it when I say that, but your support and the commission money that I made just helped me a lot with school this year, so thank you. I was able to apply for colleges. I was able to pay for the transcripts to send them off to college. You know, I'm very thankful, okay? Just know that it goes through to a good cause. But anyway, these are the Halo highlights, and unlike the baked highlights and unlike their regular highlights in the pans, these ones are not my favorite. I'ma just say it, these are not my favorite because they come in a weird shade range. This shade range is kind of for the people who are very experimental with their highlights, if you will. So this is one of the shades right here. As you can see, it's like a pink with a golden hue. This one is an all over golden hue. I feel like if you like the Trophy Wife by Fenty, but you want something a little bit more wearable and you're more of like a tan to deep, you'll probably like this one. This one's in Sunstone. Everything else, as you could see here, I'll just hold it up for you. Everything else here, as you could see, it has like a purple hue to it. So on me, what that gives my face is something murky and something dirty and something ashy. So on me personally, it does not look good. But I will say this, if I use like the pinker shades here as blushes, they look great. As highlights, no. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like they should have had something a little bit more like golden, but like also light golden. Something that's an actual highlight shade, a typical highlight shade I should say, rather than just these 6. So hopefully they expand their line because the formula of their highlights in general are really good. Now if we're gonna talk about my favorite drugstore highlight, and if you don't know this by now, you need to do your research, you need to do your homework, ma'am, because it's the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in the shade Golden Flower Crown. This is the best drugstore highlight on the market. It's actually one of the cheapest as well. So with that being said, I would highly recommend it. I got this one at Ulta. I don't know if it's an Ulta exclusive, but It is something so beautiful if you're a medium skin tone like me and you would like something that has like a little bit of a golden hint to it, a little golden kick that will be really blinding, that will last all day, that is not flaky. This is amazing. I've been wanting to buy their highlights for the longest time, but their other launches just didn't work out for me. So when they launched this one, I said, that's me, that's mine, and I'm claiming it. Another drugstore highlight that I actually had high expectations for and that kind of fell off for me was the Physicians Formula Butter Highlight. This formula is amazing, but they need to expand their color range because this is unacceptable. This is actually the lightest golden shade in their collection, probably one of the lighter shades, I should say. And the lightest shade is a white but has a pink kick to it, a pink flip, and as most of you guys know, I kind of just don't really do that anymore, so that's why I didn't buy it. So I bought this hoping, oh, it's gonna look real good. It's so dark on my skin and it just, again, makes it look very muddy on my skin, so I hope they expand their shade range because I would like a shade that is a little lighter. Do you guys remember when everybody on YouTube was raving about this and this color specifically, the Laura Geller Gilded Honey Highlight? Who fell for the hype? You know I did. You know I did because I have it. And you know what? The same thing. It looks muddy on my skin because it's too dark. Why is it that every YouTuber who I think is like my skin tone and who uses this says like, oh, it's the best, like you need it, but then when I use it, it's not good. But you know, they do have other shades and I am willing to try them out. I'm just gonna wait for it to go on sale because I did buy this like 50% off. That is still really good, but I'm just gonna wait because $30 for a highlight, that's expensive. That's expensive. Stila Kitten Eyeshadow Highlight, whatever you want it to be, it's here to stay in that collection because this is supposedly like the best highlight shade, and to be honest, it's really good. I haven't used it in a long time because I forgot about it. It was in my singles eyeshadow drawer and you know, it's cute. I mean, it's definitely seen better days, but it's cute to travel with and it looks good on the eyes, it looks good on the face. It's a staple. It's a staple, and I know why Stila wants to keep this in their collection. So if you're wondering about this, I would highly recommend it because you can't go wrong with a simple cream eyeshadow highlight. Who else remembers when Opal by Becca was everything? Before Champagne Pop, Opal was everything. And so here I have a little sample, and it's seen way better days. I don't know if you guys remember, it was about last year when I did a tutorial, and I think it was a collaboration tutorial, and I was holding up this and I had a palette on my lap and the whole entire highlight fell out. It's just too soft. It looks good on the skin, not gonna lie, but it's too soft. I can't imagine traveling with this at all. It is something that has to stay in my room, and even in my room, it breaks, and I barely drop things. I barely drop highlights, as a matter of fact. I barely drop highlights. I always drop my face powders, my translucent powders, and my palettes, but never single pans, no. I must have been real stupid when I got this because I thought that this was a blush. This is actually a highlighter. This is the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek in the shade Wisp. I think it's a highlighter. I don't know. Is it? Maybe. I don't know. This color is just anything you want it to be, really. So this is a little bit darker than my skin. It is a golden hued highlight with a rose gold flip, so it does look really good on the cheeks, but it is just a little bit dark, which is why I use it as a blush. And you know, either way it looks good. Super Shock cheeks, Super Shock shadows, whatever it is, just looks so amazing on the skin. So I highly recommend getting one of these, especially on sale. I have two highlighters left to share with you guys, and the first one that I want to mention is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder. This is so soft, so subtle, so supple. And I really like this because it may not be blinding, but it is so pretty on the skin. It makes your skin just look like you have that natural sweat, that very natural, healthy, I could be pregnant kind of glow, you know what I mean? So this one is definitely something that I feel like a lot of people overlook, because when I got this, I thought it was like an all over face powder, which you can use it for, and I hated it for that, to be honest. But once I used it as a highlight, it was really nice and really pretty. Very similar to kind of how the effect of the Mean Money shade from Fenty kind of gives you, but just a little bit more of that iridescent glow. This is the OG. This is what started this hoarding that you saw. This is what happened when I bought this. This is, oh my god, this is the Urban Decay Naked Illuminated Highlight. Do you guys remember this? Hello? Oh my god, if you were here since the beginning of my channel, you know her. You remember her. Oh my god. This was like the only highlight on the market. Oh my god. And I remember buying this on the Sephora VIB sale, and I wasn't a VIB member yet. I was still a Sephora insider. I used my 10% off and I felt like that bitch. I was like, this is my first highlight. Every time I went to Sephora, I would always swatch this and I would just be like, oh my god, it was the best. It is like so smooth, it's so glittery, it's so pretty. And oh my god, this is a highlight that I would never use. Like just looking at my highlight collection, just thinking about everything that I've tried, everything that I've gone through, like this, yes, it's like iconic to me, but it's just something I won't use because it's a formula that I don't really like anymore. It is something that is like very easy to just blow off the face. Like if something, just a gust of wind hit your face, the highlight would fly off. But honestly, I can't let her go. I've tried to declutter my makeup collection. I've tried to give away my things. This, I can't. This has to stay, and I just cherish this so much. This is literally what got me obsessed with highlights. So that wraps up everything, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for recommending this video. And if you want to see anything else from my makeup collection series, or if you want me to do an updated version of any ones that I have already done, then please let me know. Just make sure to be kind of specific, because I know a lot of you guys always say something and I don't know, I sometimes need a little bit of a reiteration. So just be a little bit specific when you guys are recommending things, because that does help me. Because I do get recommended a lot of things all at once. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye! Peace out, Girl Scouts.